My name's Heather Marr and I'm a pelvic floor physical therapist. I love helping women and educating them so that they can take the steps to healing. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe. And if you like the video, hit the like button. Please share a comment too if this has been helpful or you have another question or another video topic. Constipation affects 15% of people. In pregnancy, it increases even more, at least 25%. So what can we do during pregnancy to help relieve some of this? Because if you're constipated, you're uncomfortable. It may set you up for hemorrhoids. It may set you up for greater risk for a prolapse. So you want to be smart about what you can do. And I just want to share some simple tips as you're going along this amazing journey of pregnancy. Tip number 1, drink a cup of hot water in the morning. It seems very simple, but pregnant or not, this is actually a really good, helpful thing. We get dehydrated at night, and we really need that hot temperature to start everything moving. Even more beneficial is taking that cup of hot water in the morning before that cup of coffee. Coffee and hot tea can be beneficial, but even for myself, I've tried to discipline myself to drink that cup of hot water in the morning first. And if it's too plain and you just can't handle it, put a drop of lemon, essential oil, or a little bit of fresh lemon or mint in there so that you can get a little bit more flavor. But start with that cup of hot water in the morning. Tip 2, increase your fluid intake. 8 to 10 cups of water a day is essential. And when you're pregnant, sometimes the guideline goes up to 10 to 12 cups of water a day. Constipation, there are so many reasons for it, but again, a big thing is how much fluid. If the stool is dry and hard and more pebbly, then that tells you that we've got to get more fluid in. So be pushing that water throughout the day. Tip number 3, fiber. In the world of processed foods, fast food restaurants, we're on the go, we end up leaving fiber out of our diet. So what can you do? Let's think about some of the fruits. The apples, the pears, the prunes, prune juice, pineapple, peaches are great. What about some vegetables? Let's think about the broccoli, the Brussels sprouts, even oatmeal, whole grain bread, that helps as well. Avoid some of the things like dairy and cheeses, things that tend to constipate you a little bit more. Now, your diet's going to be different than anybody else and your gut's different than anybody else's, but keep watch on that. I know that for me also, steaming spinach has been very helpful, so check that out as well. Fluids that will help also are like coconut water, because it has a little bit of fiber in it as well. So keep that in mind, and prune juice is another thing. And again, don't forget your hot water, your hot tea, and your coffee. But again, when you're pregnant, be sure that you're not putting in too much caffeine, so be aware of that. Tip 4, squatty potty. I just made a video on this, so check that video out about the magic of the squatty potty. But don't overlook this. This is a huge thing that you can get those knees higher than the hips, and it can change how you can poop. So check that one out. Tip 5, diaphragmatic breathing. We lose a lot of our movement here when we are pregnant because everything goes out, and we lose this trunk rotation in the middle and our ribs moving out to the side. Diaphragmatic breathing is actually a rest and digest system. So let's not overlook that. The power of diaphragmatic breathing, where you take a deep inhale, expand the ribs out, and then exhale. Slow breathing rather than shallow breathing and our shoulders coming up and down is really important. Along with that diaphragmatic breathing is movement. Get out and walk 5 minutes. Even make sure you're moving those arms too, because that gets a lot of trunk rotation, which ends up moving the stool through the large intestine and prepares for that bowel movement. And a bonus tip here, when you're pooping, try to exhale when you have a bowel movement. Our tendency is to push it out. And as we're straining, the blood pressure's going up, we're tightening that pelvic floor. So if we can start working on and feeling that pelvic floor extend a little bit and open up, that's going to be helpful for those bowel movements. Just take a little bit more time. It's pulling in that diaphragmatic breathing and exhaling and trying to get that movement. And you know what the bonus is you practice it now during pregnancy. when you're having your bowel movements, and you can carry over to delivery, so that when you're pushing through those contractions, you're exhaling and you're extending that pelvic floor. You're not trying to push that baby out through a tightened pelvic floor. You want to relax and let that pelvic floor extend as much as possible. So what you do now with constipation can help you with delivery later on. So constipation is real. Check out those tips, try them out, and see what helps you. But again, know that it might be that you need more help. Medicines are available, but you need to talk with your doctor. You don't need to just go to the drugstore and get some laxative or fiber or anything like that. You want to get that approved from your doctor, because some of the laxatives and some of the over-the-counter stool softeners can actually cause more dehydration and set you up for more risk for premature contractions. So you want to be smart, because pregnancy and medication is different than non-pregnancy. Thanks so much for watching, and again, subscribe and like, and let me know what you think. What's your tip? Share below. If you're going through pregnancy and you've found a certain food or something that's been beneficial, please share, because there's so many other pregnant women dealing with this as well. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.